Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sowing and Reaping YouTube channel. And today, I want to talk about the real reason Shanny and Rev are penniless. Now, here's the thing. If I was on the other channel, which is Preaching to the Choir Ministry, right, the GMAN channel, you guys, GMAN, we already know this stuff, yada, yada. Well, this video ain't really for you because there's a lot of people in the Christian community that have no idea why Shanny and Rev are in the position that they're in, why they're whining and complaining. And if people and people need to understand this, if people in the Christian community don't say anything, they're going to believe what Shanny and Rev are saying. I was one of them. Don't forget that. It wasn't that long ago. If the Christian community does not say anything to its audience and they see Shanny community posts and they see the things that she's doing in video, they are going to believe that YouTube reaction people are the reason on why they are suffering the way they are. So what I want to do on my channel, since I know a lot of them are sub to this channel and will ultimately share this and will know this, I want people to hear it come directly out of my mouth because they know that I've known these two for a while and I was there in the beginning. It's not like Carrie, who just recently started talking about them a year ago or whatever, or just Breezing or some of these other people. Now, some of these reaction people know this situation a little bit better than me because they have all of the videos. And Sabella was there in the beginning too. As a matter of fact, it was me, Drag, Sabella. A lot of them was there in the very beginning of this. As a matter of fact, even before she got involved with Jason. All right. So I'm going to try to explain to everybody who don't know, maybe some little details a lot of you don't know, on why they are penniless. Okay. And this is going to be based on the videos that you guys have seen on YouTube or haven't seen. And it's going to be based on my own personal experience from being around them. Some of the things that you're going to hear, you probably guessed and figured. Some of the stuff you never heard them say, but you're going to hear it directly out of my mouth. And I expect Shanny and Rev to not respond. But if they do respond, what they might try to say is I'm lying or whatever. But there's a lot of ways to prove that Rev's full of it. And I can invite him to come on here and talk about it. He won't do it, and neither will Shanny. I can offer Rev $100 so he can eat and eat good. He will not come on his channel to defend his honor or the honor of his woman. All right. But let's get into this here for a minute now. Okay. And hopefully after this video is over, the Christian community will understand why you're going to start hearing me say I have no pity on them. I don't feel sorry for them or anything like that. But what I do want to do is see them get saved and, things like that you're going to hear coming out of my mouth. But they're in the position that they are in because they are irresponsible adults. Let's get into this, okay? Everybody, if you didn't know, Shanny was married to somebody else called Chris. That relationship didn't go all that well. I think after like 5 years or so, or whatever, 6 years or whatever, they got divorced or whatever, right? She was on YouTube trying to get with me, trying to get with Rev and a couple of other people on here. She ended up getting Rev. Her mother would later make a video claiming that the reason that she wanted Rev was because of the money. Okay. So I don't know if Rev believes that or not, but I'm going to tell you what he does believe in. And I might be able to show a little proof of this too. Just how I'm going to be able to do it. But anyway, so look. So when they got together, they were living in Scranton. They were living in Scranton, PA. They were living in that house. It's funny, it started there and then it ended there, right? They were living in that house. Rev was still having problems with his alcohol. He was coherent. He was nothing like you see him now. He actually had a spine when he was drinking. He actually had a spine. I think they broke up or almost broke up on multiple occasions. This is right out of Rev's mouth. When I met him in person, he told me that that Shanny and the kids knocked on the door. He wasn't really all that crazy about them staying there, but he's right when he says that that Shanny forced her way into the home and wouldn't leave. I mean, I want you to think about it. Let's say you drove all the way from Minnesota to Scranton, Pennsylvania, and then you get there and you got nowhere else to go. It was a couple of times he tried to throw her out a couple of times and tried to put her in a hotel, but she was trying to claim squatters laws or whatever. Exactly. Sabella says, I think we can actually pinpoint the exact moment that spine was lost is on video. One of the god awful Harley ones. Well, we're gonna get to that. So, Scranton. Okay, so what they told me personally, Shanny and Rev, and I think I said this before, but for those of you who have never heard me say it, I'm gonna say this here, is that the reason why they went, and I think, and as a matter of fact, I mentioned this, if you want to cross-reference, I mentioned this during the first eviction saga, and I mentioned this after my breaking up with them again or whatever. You know what I mean? The second eviction saga, if you want to call it that or whatever, right? Shanny told me the reason why they moved to Boulder, Colorado was to get him away from the drinking. Now, based on XX Archive and so many of these other channels or whatever, that is obviously not true because they were drinking in Boulder as well. But I'm saying that like today, but back then I didn't know that. I believe Shanny when she told me that they moved to Boulder, Colorado because because they wanted to get him off the drinking. Here's a common theme that I'm noticing that Carrie's not picking up, Drader's not picking up, Sabella, you're not even picking up on this. And the reason why I'm saying this is I don't hear nobody saying this in their streams. Whenever Shanny talked about that money that she had in Boulder, Colorado, or when she got with Rev, it was never Rev's money. I want people to get this now. It was never Rev's money. It was her money. She gave me a house. She gave Brett King $200. She did this. She did that. That's her house. She's kicking me out of her house. Everything was always hers. And when this man had wet brain, I think I told this story on Drag's members only stream. And this is true. I'm trying to think if I have a text message to prove it. If I can find it, I'll show you guys this. But it is true what I'm going to tell you here. That woman called me one day. Now, mind you, this is not my money. This is not, I'm not in a relationship with, this is them or whatever. You know what I mean? And she calls me up on the phone one day, crying, saying that she lost $125,000 in stocks or whatever. Me and him talked about this in the car. When I finally got to meet the guy in person and talk to him and whatnot, he confirmed it, but it was actually more than that over time. Shanny cost him a lot of money via the stocks or whatever. We're going to get to that in a minute when we look at the math here in a minute. But he told me that she told me that she lost $125,000 in the stock and she doesn't know what to do. She never had this kind of responsibility before because Rev was incapable of making decisions when he had the wet brain or whatever. You know what I mean? Which is understandable, but she's the one in the relationship. She's the one who chose him. She has to know how to handle that, right? For the people that don't know, Shanny did a lot of streams where she dressed up in green or she just dressed up in general or whatever, and she was smoking a lot of weed and she was buying a lot of extravagant things or whatever. You know what I mean? Very expensive things. Now, for what I understand from Rev and listening to Drag and a couple of other people, their monthly allowance was $5,000 a month. Their monthly allowance is $5,000 a month. There are 52 weeks, 53 weeks, 52 weeks in the year. What does that come out to? If you spend $5,000 a month and you do not reinvest it, how much money did they spend in the year? That's about $260,000, I think. Give or take. That's me guessing. It's about $260,000. Right? That money would be gone in 3 years if they was irresponsible with that money for 3 straight years. You don't reinvest it. You don't do anything like that. You just constantly spend. Rev claims that the reason why he lost the money was because of the global situation that was going on where everybody had to wear masks and things of that nature or whatever. But that's simply not the case. They were ordering out all the time. Shanny does not cook very often. I seen her cook one time. Once. I mean cook. And that was the spaghetti when I met her in person. The second time I've heard about her making food was the air fryer that she had in that room. And she put a piece of chicken in there and she used the air fryer. She never cleaned the thing. She just kept putting food in there, putting food in there, putting food in there. Absolutely disgusting. All right. But that money went on clothes, expensive perfume, jewelry. It went on them doing takeout every month, buying stuff that they did not need, like laptops. Now, mind you, I'm not talking about Rev's games because honestly and truthfully, if you add up all of the games that this is me defending Rev here a little bit, okay? And I've seen the games because you want to know why? Half of them, if not all of them, I have. If you count the EverDrives, the Genesis games, and all the games that they had, including the PS5, it doesn't even put a dent on what this man actually had. The Durango that he had wasn't even paid for. He put a down payment on that. That thing wasn't fully paid for. So a lot of that money went on Shanny's hauls, her perfume, and her new lifestyle that she inherited from being with this guy. All this, oh, we lost all this money for moving and moving and moving. If Redline was here, or if several other people I know was here, they would call cow poop on that. They would call cow poop on that because that's what I'm calling on it. I'm calling it cow poop. Okay, it only costs but so much to move. The only way I can even think about it denting what they had a little bit if they just discarded everything and just bought everything brand new and bought everything brand new and bought everything brand new. They just bought a lot of useless garbage and a lot of junk. So the reason why they lost all of their money in Colorado was because of them not being adults and spending their money on stupid stuff. That's what you guys already know. What you don't know is that when they was living in that house that I have, and I think I said this on Drag's members only stream, Shanny was making money in that house. Shanny's making money in the house that she's in. Well, actually, before she lost her Twitch, she was making money in the house that she was in. Maybe close to like anywhere between maybe $3,000 to about $1,000. And you know what they're doing with that money? So it's not like they can't make money or they're not making any money. Shanny showed me what she was making at the uncle's. I think at one time she got as high as almost $2,000. That's why I got so mad when she told me, oh, they flagged my Cash App. I can't even make no money. She showed me a text message and all this other stuff and whatnot. Looking back at it, I don't know how I feel about it now. But this woman almost had $2,000 because of that road trip, coming over there and doing everything that she was doing or whatever. $2,000. I blacked out on, well, actually, I didn't black out on Rev, but although I did black on him on numerous occasions, I got on his case, on Shanny's case behind her back a couple of times over money because she was making money when she was there and she didn't give me a dime. But listen to me, guys. She never gave me 10 cents. She never gave me 10 cents. I remember one time Red told me one month she made $900. I said, well, don't you think she should help me with the electric bill or get some gas in this place so they can have heat? She had to have her medication. And if you're a Christian and you're giving your money to Shanny, please understand they are buying TV dinners, frozen pizzas, particularly DiGiorno, because that seems to be their favorite. They're buying big jars of peanut butter, the bare minimum for the cats, and with the rest of their money, that's what they're doing with your money. For a while, they was doing that with the money that I was giving them. I have text message proof that I said I wasn't going to give them that no more, and that if they wanted food, I had to be there present. He had to drive me to Walmart, and I had to buy food then because I got tired of it. I have this one person watch my channel. I think it was Guess Who. They were saying, you know, G-Man, why did you turn on Shanny And Rev, I'll get back on the topic in a minute. Why didn't you turn on Shanny and Rev so easily? Well, first of all, I didn't turn on them easily. It was a combination of things. The last straw was when Shanny got on YouTube and said that I gave her a death sentence. It was having the confirmation come that they are dirty and they smell, and that neither. And the thing that got me the most, honestly, because I think I could have handled the house stinking for a little bit longer. I think I could have handled it a little bit longer. What boiled my blood was this: I'm a working man. My mom and my dad didn't leave me jack, all right, in terms of like some 750 grand. I have to work for what I got, okay? What made me angry with Rev, and I almost threw them out that day. Shanny, if she was in here and she wasn't so butthurt, she would confirm it, but I think she did in her video when she broke up with him when he did what he did with Zach or whatever. He got offered a job and he said no, and he showed me that he didn't want to work, and they had no real plans for the future. They had no real plans for the future. Then when he did it the second time, I was already in my mind thinking, okay, I got to get them out of here or whatever. Like, that was already in my mind. And at the same time, I'm watching YouTube. G-Man, you know, you're Shanny slave and all this stuff. You guys have no idea what's going on in the background, but that's what's going on. But getting back to why they're broke. Shanny and Rev, toward the end, you hear them talking about like $2,000. You hear them talking about investing into, what the heck was that, Dogecoin and all this other mess and whatnot, right? You heard them talking about a lot of that. Well, when they started contacting me, no, it was not me contacting them. It was Rev calling me. It was Rev contacting me about getting the house back. He told me that First, he told me that God told him to give it back to me. And then two, he said he was feeling guilty about what he did and he wanted to give it back to me. Apologize about all this other stuff that they did in the past or whatever. Jules was in a private call with us, and they mentioned this. And I said, well, why is she in this room? And then, like I said, I told that story before. I'm not going into that again or whatever, because that's not even important. But he was the one that came to me about that. Now, I had to get a lawyer. The lawyer cost $4,000. I paid $2,000. He paid $2,000. Well, actually, if you want to get technical, I paid $4,000 because, well, he paid the $2,000 because I didn't have the $2,000 initially. I had to get the $2,000 back to him. And then I was giving them money to pay a little cell phone bill here, to go to get Delta 8 here, and to get this, and to get that, and to get this, and to get that. I'm talking about when they was in Colorado. I was spending money to mail them their stuff that from the house to Colorado, not knowing that they was actually going to be coming to PA and everything. But the thing I want people to take away from this is this: if you pay attention to those videos where he no longer has wet brain, he has like that blonde hair. I think that's about the time when Shanny started to defame his name on YouTube. That he was trying to embarrass her in public. That he was trying to do that embarrass her in public and do all these different things. This is what I'm getting from the videos I missed. But around that time, I'm noticing this is around the time when Shanny's trying to find an exit strategy to get away from him. Of course, he will not admit that, but what he does know is this: she is mostly responsible for him being broke. But he has to take responsibility because he allowed it to happen. He didn't stand up for himself. He allowed her to spend all of that money. So he knows why he's broke. Why do you think he gets so angry in certain streams when she talks about how she does everything? She cleans, which she does not do. She doesn't cook. She doesn't do none of those things. But she's getting on here talking about how she does everything herself. I watch those videos and I'm like scratching my head and I'm like, that is a straight up lie. I know who runs the errands. And if you're in so much pain and you can't walk and you can't do none of these things, which you only hear toward the end. You don't hear this when she's spending all the money on weed and buying all of that fancy stuff. You only hear this when that money is running out because she's looking for an exit strategy. And now she took all of his money and now she was expecting him to get a job. Now she knew full well that wasn't going to happen. She knew he wasn't going to have to get no job because she thought she was going to get me. When she met me, she saw I was a hard worker. I consistently have money. People can say whatever they want about G-Man. I pay my bills. People keep talking about, oh, G-Man owes back taxes. I don't owe nothing. And I have the receipts to prove it. All of those back unpaid receipts, or all them back taxes, I paid for all of that. All $1,100 of that. No, I'm sorry, not $1,100. My bad. $11,000 of it. I paid for all of it. I made those repairs and I did everything I had to do. Then they thought that they was going to frustrate me into giving it back to them, which is hilarious. But anyway, getting back to the topic at hand, because I have a tendency of going on rabbit trails. The vast majority of that money was gone because Shanny spent it on stupid stuff. I am not going to allow her to get on here and say that that money went on video games. If you go look at the video where they had that fight and Jason's actually telling the truth about how he feels about her when she's in the bathroom, and then she goes out there and she's trying to say, well, he's not going to get a job, he doesn't want to work, and I'm in terrible pain, and blah, 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 and all these other lies that she's saying on here and whatnot. Shanny, if you're watching this, I don't believe that you're in terrible pain. I think you're lazy. And I think a lot of people are starting to get this and they're starting to understand this about you. Okay? You don't even offer, you have a YouTube platform. You have 1,000 subscribers, and yet you're not even offering a service so that people can be entertained by what you do so that you can make money. What you want to do now is you want to go, that's why you started your YouTube channel, The Losers Club, so you can whine and cry like a little baby all day? Is that the purpose for your channel to be there? Thank God you didn't get on here calling yourself Shanny for Christ. I'd have had every Christian on YouTube making videos saying, no, you're not. Because the only person that you ever talk about caring about, Shanny, is yourself. You spent all of this man's money. Well, you spent the majority of this man's money. Rev made some poor decisions on his buying things or whatever. And you want to know something about the kids too? I heard Carrie and Just Breezing talking about those kids and everything and whatnot, very briefly or whatever. Some of you was in Colorado, so you would know if this is true or not. And I don't know if it's 100% true. All I know is that William and Zachary didn't have no clothes. But the majority of the games that they bought, the majority of the things that Shanny had, all of that stuff was in the car. But where were their clothes? Where were their clothes? If somebody's got that video to show that they found all of their clothes in there, I'd be appreciated. I'd like to see it or whatever. But the kids didn't have no clothes. So all this mess about families are expensive is nonsense. This man, when he was a drunk, was more fiscally responsible with his money when he was single and he was a drunk and he was making his Revelation News type videos where he talked about the truth and stuff, talked about the Bible and things of that nature. He was more fiscally responsible. He was trying to invest his money into sunglass companies and things of that nature. But it wasn't until he got involved with this woman who only wanted him for this money because she didn't want to work no more. I'm getting that from Chris. I watched several of Chris videos, and Chris confirms that Shanny just never wanted to work. Then if you add that with Shanny's mother's videos, which she says that she was making YouTube videos. And yes, if you go on Fundy Archive, there is a video on Fundy Archive right now that you can watch with Shanny making YouTube videos at her job. You can actually take a look at that. You can see the videos where she's making YouTube videos at her job that she claims she was doing for 5 or 10 years, which is a bunch of nonsense. A lot of you got to understand something about Shanny. Shanny comes from the school that Brett King comes from. Brett King once said on YouTube that you can be whatever you want on social media. Because how are people really going to know if you're telling the truth or not? Right? How are people really going to know? So Shanny can get on here and say whatever she wants to whoever she wants, because in her head, she thinks that nobody knows anything. But the reality is that this woman is so lazy. She doesn't see all of the videos that exist on YouTube with her only talking and talking about bragging about being a diva, bragging about how much stuff cost, showing everybody the luxurious apartment that she moved in, the expensive clothes, how much they cost, where they got it from, the expensive restaurant, and actually doing with the money. And Shanny, I'm going to say this, and this is going to be mean. Nobody else won't say it on here, but I will. Okay? I've heard Carrie kind of get into it, but I'm just going to be mean because that's just who I am. I'm sorry. Can you please stop posting in your community posts that you miss your kids? Okay? You are literally Man, I wish I was a non-believer for like just for like this 1 second, because I would say it's totally different. Y'all just don't know. But you are opening your legs for the person that got your kids taken away from you. Has nothing to do with your health, and you know it. According to you, for the last 10 years or whatever on here, you've been dying. So you're not going through anything new that you wasn't going through when you was legs for a child abuser. You refuse to do anything to get your kids back. So you have to excuse me, Shanny, if I want to laugh at you when you say that you want your children back, because you don't. My Bible is specific about what you need to do about getting your circumstances changed, but you're not going to do any of that. So I'm not even going to bring that up, because I told you this over and over and over and over and over again. If you miss your kids so much, you would get away from Rev, you would get a job, and then you would get your kids back. But I'm wasting my breath. We both know you're not going to do that. We both know you're not going to do it. Some people are going to get mad at me for saying that to you or whatever, but I just want to show people proof that Shanny's full of it, especially in the Christian community. Now, Shanny makes the positive claim on here, and I say this on my debate arena whenever I do my show on there. If you haven't seen that yet, check it out. But I say that the burden of proof is on the one making the claim. So Shanny says that the reason why they lost all of their money was because of the global sickness that was going around and the trolls on YouTube, because they have to keep moving. That is not the reason why they're broke. They're broke because Shanny was having an adulterous affair with Rev, and even before she was divorced, he was actually, it's funny thinking about this when you really think about it. He was actually paying for Shanny bills when Shanny was with Chris. And then when Shanny got with Rev and she spent all of his money, she was trying to get me to pay for her bills. This woman is a revolving door. She has a video on YouTube literally telling everybody that every race has been up her coochie. She literally has a video on there, which I didn't know she had until I saw these archive channels, which he says that every race has been up her coochie. Every race. Listen to me. What I'm going to say right now is going to sound mean if you're a woman, but is that not the very definition of a slut? Is that not the very definition of what a slut is? You ain't no lady, Shanny. You're a whore. You are a bona fide. You're not a view whore. You are a prostitute. You sold your money. You sold your body for money on here doing porn, and you sold your body to Rev. And now you got to stay with him. And you're never going to get your kids back again because of your poor decision making. You refuse to be an adult, and you refuse to be a responsible adult. You got on your community post and you lied to everybody and told everybody that you're going to quit tobacco and you're going to quit Delta 8. You even got your man on here lying, say about that about lying about about finding a gig. Isn't it ironic that 1 hour after I make my YouTube video telling them that if they don't get a job, that all of a sudden he makes a YouTube video talking about them having a gig? He knows my influence in the Christian community. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to talk about this tomorrow in my debate arena tomorrow. They are getting no pity from us Christians on the internet. That is over. No pity. Listen to me. We're not supposed to be supporting laziness. It ain't happening. So, Rev, you can keep lying all you want. Now, I suspect that you're getting your money in some different ways, but that's your own personal business, bro. But you definitely don't got no writing gig. If you look at what Shanny said in her community post, and as a matter of fact, for the last 24 hours, and then you look at Rev's video about him saying that he that he got a gig. That the community, the stuff that she's saying doesn't sound like her life is getting better. They made that up. They made that up. All right. So, Shanny, you're responsible. You are mainly responsible. Now, Rev gave you permission, so he's got to take the blame too. All right. But Shanny, you spent all of that money without thinking or getting a calculator and doing some math. Unless you did, and you actually thought you was going to get yours truly. But as I said before, and I'm saying it again, you ain't never getting this chocolate. That ain't, this is some chocolate you ain't never going to get, honey. There's just too much stuff out there in terms of videos right now that I'm seeing from these archive channels, from like Glute, Dragnut, and I mean people I haven't talked to in a long time has got some videos on here about you, Shanny, and no, that just wasn't going to happen. Even if I met you in person and dated you for like 1 or 2 times or whatever, that was never, ever going to happen. It just wasn't. So, Shanny, why is it okay? So, I'm going to ask you a question that the reaction people are asking you, and then I got my own personal question that they're not asking you. The reaction channels are asking you, why are they responsible for paying your bills? Because you gave Brett Keane $200. Nobody forgot it. Well, I didn't forget about that. Yeah. She gave Brett Keane $200 to lie for her. Brett would ultimately admit this on his YouTube channel and say that Shanny thought by giving him money that she thought that Brett was going to go on there and continue to lie for her or whatever and support her. She gave this other girl on here called Hannah Stout, Carrie, and Just Breezing. Look up this girl on YouTube called Hannah Stout. She has some interesting stories. As a matter of fact, get a hold of Ms. Star too if you can. Leave a comment in their thingies and whatnot. Invite them to your YouTube channels. Oh, they could tell you some doozies. How they were trying to buy everybody. She tried to buy my best friend Ken. Of course, Ken called me on the phone and told me about it. And I told him, not only do you tell her no, but tell her in a way that she understands that you're not for sale. And then that was around the time. And unfortunately, I can't find these videos. Somebody's got them, but I can't find them, although I'm getting close. I'm getting real close. But there are some videos that exist where Shanny is actually getting mad and telling people that that she is no longer going to give anybody any money anymore because they was turning on her. It was this real big thing when she was doing hangouts. Yeah, do that, Sabella. Hannah Stout and Ms. Star. You definitely got to get them on Carrie's channel. I'm telling you. You want to see Shanny go ballistic. Get those two on her channel and get them to talk about how Shanny was trying to buy everybody in the community. Because she felt like if she gave you a donation, then you was obligated to lie for her on your streams. She did it with Dragnut. To the tune of what Rev told me, because he was a dragoon, he was a donating dragoon. I think he told me that they gave him anywhere between $16,000 and $22,000, believing that Dragnut was going to be quiet about this. How you doing, Just Breezing? Believing that Dragnut was going to be quiet about this. Believing that Dragnut was going to be quiet about this. Now, I knew Dragnut before all of this happened. When he used to come into my room. And no, Dragnut's never been a fan of GMAN. Me and him are not friends. But I tell you this much, though. You wasn't going to be able to give him any money. Listen to me. If you're a fellow atheist and you try to buy him to be quiet, you ain't going to be able to do it. I know him. Him I know. Okay? And there's some other atheists on here I know. You ain't going to be able to give them, but they believe for some reason that if they gave him money, he was going to be quiet. If they gave him money, he was going to be quiet. That wasn't going to happen. I tried to warn them so many times, but yeah, like I said, one ear and out the other one. But and isn't it funny? The guy who got the most money out of them is the guy who absolutely destroyed them. Absolutely destroyed them online. All right. And if you're also a Christian on here and you ever hear Shanny talk about how the men in her life are never faithful to her, please keep this in mind. She has flirted with multiple women on the internet. And one of them is in her community post who she copies and tries to emulate on her YouTube channel. I didn't even know it until I started looking at how the girl put her makeup on and everything and whatnot. I forget her name, but Shanny has been copying her, I think, too, along with Foodie Beauty and a couple of other people on here. But Shanny's not faithful. Shanny was cheating with Jason before they got together. Okay? And the person who confirms this is Chris. It's not even me. Chris confirms this. It was Chris. Listen to me. Go find the video on the Art of Relevancy where he says where he has a video called Stirring the Pot. Go look for that video. That's where I got a lot of my clips from. Go look for the video called Stirring the Pot. Stirring the Pot. Where he actually says that he was in Skype calls with that he was in Skype calls. Now I'm new to the dance here, guys. I know a lot of you know this or whatever, but yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. The Rev told me that they got anywhere between $16,000 and $22,000. Well, at least that's what Rev told me. Anyway, so Chris goes on there and he confirms that on a Skype call, when Shanny called him, that he answered the call by saying, "How you doing, sexy?" And it's right there on the Art of Relevancy. She is one of the most unfaithful people you will ever get involved with. She is not loyal. All she's looking for is a sugar daddy so that she doesn't have to work. That's pretty much her MO. And she'll lie, cheat, and steal to get that from whoever. And all this garbage about them leaving social media, that ain't gonna happen. What they're doing is they're just starving the reaction people because they believe that they're punishing them till they start being nice to them. I've had conversations with them in person about that, but they'll be back on here soon because they can't help it. Shanny is addicted to this garbage. But they get money. They get money from the uncle. Sometimes the uncle gives Rev. One of the things that made me feel sorry about Rev before I started looking at these archive channels, this is before the archive channels, and I started looking at them and started saying I think they're necessary, is that the uncle, I think on 3 or 4 occasions, gave this man $200. He would come over there and give him $200, and he would say to me, G-Man, I have to hide this because if I don't, Shanny's going to get it, and she's going to make me buy medication. And we're talking about a guy who wants to eat. All this garbage about how he's happy with peanut butter. He has to say that when Shanny is present. That's why I implore anybody who lives in the state of Pennsylvania or who lives in an hour and a half distance from them, if you could befriend them and meet them in person, get Rev alone and you will get the entire story out of his own mouth. He will tell you out of his own mouth, that she don't feed him, that she hogs everything up. I've never seen nobody go through cigarettes as fast as Shanny does. It's like some people do this. It's like she takes 10 of them and just go, like, what happened to the pack I just bought you? Well, I was stressing and my fibromyalgia was acted up and the heck out of here. It's ridiculous. The only time that man ate and ate actually good was when I showed up. And believe you me, he ate like a champ. I made him eat the food. And Shanny, I can say this now because there's really nothing you can do about this. But I made that man eat that stuff in the car before he even got back to the house. And I made sure you understood, Shanny, and you know this is true, that this food belongs to him. Do not touch it, especially when I'm in his house. A lot of you don't know this stuff. But anyway, she was making money when she was living in the house, in my house, and she was making money, a lot of money, when she was living with the uncle. So don't get this twisted. She's making money right now from somebody. They're just smoking it up. Do not let these idiots fool you. They're making money right now. Oh, trust me on that. They're just smoking it up. See, it's easier for them to sit on their couch and to cut their computer on, make up some big lie, and get you guys to order them a pizza. Because this is what you guys got to understand about those two. They believe that you guys are addicted to them. Listen to me here, okay? They believe that you guys need them, that you cannot function without them. That is why they believe by not being online, they are punishing you. Okay? And if you want them to be online, you're going to have to give them money. That's why Jules falls into that trap, and some other people falls into that trap, and will give them money in order to get them to stream. All right. They have a religious belief that they are famous. Everyone in the world knows them. Okay. And they have a religious belief that you need them and that they can get money from you guys, because if you want them to stream, then you're going to have to donate to them. Now, Shanny, I want to talk directly to you, Shanny. All right? Because you don't seem to think further than 24 hours. I told you something about me, and I told the community about this on the other channel years ago, that I'm the kind of person that thinks 8 to a year in advance. I'm not one of these people that can't think past tomorrow. Oh, I can think, and I can think very long term about what it is that I want to do. My thing with you, Shanny, is this. If you knew that all of that money was running out, and you was making all of that money when you were living on Fisk, because I think it's fair to say, between your YouTube channels and what you was getting in private donations, and yes, they were getting private donations, and the money that they were getting from me. Do you guys realize in 7 months they could have moved out of that house? In about 7 months, they had rent, security, and furniture money. Rent, security, and furniture money. Rev's excuse was, well, how are we going to pay the monthly rent? But she ain't made enough money to move out of there. She just didn't want to give me none of it so that she can have a roof over her head. She expected me to keep paying for everything. And I said this before, and I'm going to say this again. That cocky video that she made when she supposedly broke up with him, she thought she was going to get me. So she went on there and said she don't need him, because I was very nice to those kids. Those kids, whenever I would walk in that house, Shanny would too, but it would take her 100 years to get down the stairs. But the kids would run downstairs, Rev would run downstairs, and all of them want to talk to me all at once. Those kids adored me. If they wanted something, I got it for them. They adored me. They couldn't stand him. Now, Jason's going to get on here and say GMAN's lying and GMAN's lying and GMAN's lying that they wasn't making any money or whatever. Shanny, your channel was monetized. You had up to like maybe 300 people watching you at one time when you were there. As a matter of fact, when GTV was still up, that was my channel before I got flagged down from defending them. But I had 300 people watching me because they made a guest appearance on my channel. I've never seen that many live viewers on my channel before. The most I think I've seen before I did that thing on GTV, I think was maybe 120, 180 or something like that, I think. And that's when I debated atheism is unstoppable on my YouTube channel. You know what I mean? But I've never had that many views before. So she was banking this, and she showed me, oh, gee, man, look how much money I made. See, I'm working my butt off. Oh, time for Big Mama to go to work. Time for Big Mama to go to work. And I watch her put a wig on, and they would discuss how they're going to talk to you guys, which I found to be interesting. They used to say things like, well, you know, they're going to respond this way, so you better say it this way. You better do it this way. You better say this. And then I would tell them, don't tell them I'm downstairs and I'm listening to everything that they're saying or whatever. Like, this stuff was pre-planned and people knew what they was doing. She was making money when she was living in that house, and she was making money at the uncle's, just like she's making money right now pretending she's broke. So if you're a Christian and you don't know a lot about them, this is what I would recommend you do. There's a channel called XX Archive. You will not hear nobody else in the video talking but them. Check it out. There's another video. There's another channel called Shabby for Christ. There's another archive channel called and subscribe to XX Archive, Shabby for Christ. If you want to see something a little bit funny, go to Celebrity Juicer, but he's not really a archive channel. You can check out XX. I think it's it's XX Archive, and then it's XX, I think it's called. Shabby for Christ, XX Archive. What's the other one? the one with the mark by God. I forget which one is that one or whatever. But if you want to see continual streams about what they're doing, there's a channel called Carrie, and there's another channel called Just Breezing, and they seem to cover them a lot. That's who I watch now when I want to keep up with what they're doing, because I don't go directly to their channel unless I'm able to leave a comment on their stream, in which I know they see it, because I've been asking Shanny I've been telling Shanny that I want an apology for that lie that she put on YouTube, and she will not do it. That's why I say a lot of these wounds that she has are from herself. These are from herself. Imagine this. You're in a house and you're hungry, right? You ain't got no food. You ain't got none of this other stuff because you refuse to take responsibility for the things that you said about yours truly. It's your fault, not mine. Shanny's not broke because of the trolls. Shanny's not broke because of Dragnot. Shanny's not broke because of some YouTube conspiracy. She ain't even broke because of the global sickness. Shanny's broke because Shanny was too stupid to invest the money that they had. And now, Rev, I want to talk directly to you because I know both of you are going to watch this. Probably got popcorn, wondering what you're going to say or how you're going to ignore me and say that you're not going to respond to me or whatever. And that's all fine and well. Who cares? Who cares? I bet you care what I got to say when I sell that house, though. Oh, you're going to care a lot, dude. But anyway, I'm going to make sure of it. I guarantee you're going to care. As a matter of fact, like McMahon used to say, I guarantee you care. Because I'm going to make sure that the person you live with cares. Well, trust me on that one. I got something for you, dude. Trust me. Because I don't appreciate what you guys did. But anyway, I'm going off on a rabbit trail. What was I going to say? What was I saying? I'm going to stop doing that. I forgot what I forgot. But anyway, Shanny, the reason why you guys are broke is because you didn't invest the money. Oh, now I remember. Now I remember. It was never Rev's money. It was your money, Shanny. How many thousands of dollars did you give to your mother, Shanny? How many thousands of dollars did you give to Brett Keane? How many thousands of dollars did you give to Hannah Stout? Don't give me this. You gave me 8,000 or whatever. I know that, Serenity. That's why I'm not. Listen to me. When I sell that place, I'm gonna let all of you know when I do it. Oh, trust me. If I do give them anything, I'm gonna humiliate them. You want to know how I'm gonna do it? I will either go to Dragnet, since we black people are the N-word and everything and whatnot. You know what? I'll either go to Dragnet, Black Eye TV, or I'll go to Miss Parker, and I will give them the money, and then I will let them decide how they're gonna get it. So if Drag says you got to come on my channel for a week and explain yourself, you got to explain this video and this video and this video, guess what you're going to have to do? If Carrie says you got to go in there, then Drag, you got to go in there and you got to do it. They're going to work for it. Oh, trust me on that one. No, I hear you, Mofo, and I hear you, Sabella, and some other people on here. And by my diss track, which I'm going to make another one concerning Shanny and Rev, but I'm going to do that one a little bit later. But because the next one I do, I want it to be my own music, and ain't going to be none of this copyright garbage going on. I'm going to make sure I do my own music, because I'm going to monetize that one. I'm going to have some special guests in that one. But anyway, and for the people that wonder why I keep bringing up giving them money or whatever, right? If people want to know why, it isn't me. It isn't me. There are people in my family who don't know about these. Well, actually, that's not true. They know about these archive channels now. And hopefully, after they look at all of these archive videos, they'll change their mind. Especially the video where he calls Dragnet the N-word 16 times or whatever. You know what I mean? I got to find the original video. I've never seen the original video. I've seen the edited version on Irate Alex's channel, but I got to find the original video because I'm sure that would sway some people. That is for sure. Plus the video where Rev, and I got a little bit of a progress report here. Rev made a video saying that he didn't want my pity. He said he didn't want my pity, and he said he didn't want he didn't want nothing from me. Now that helps me a little bit because two of my brothers told me not to give him nothing. My brothers told me not to give them nothing because of that video. I like it when Rev makes these videos and don't think about what he's going to say before he say it. Do I have no pity on you? Yes, sir. No problem. No problem. Now, Shanny, if you can make another video telling me not to pity you, that'd be great. Dummies. But anyway, Shanny, the entire time you was with this guy, it was never his money. It was your money. It was your money. It was your money. It was your house. It was your possessions. It was your things. When you gave people money, it was out of your money. It was your money. The fact of the matter is, if you take a look at Shanny's career here on YouTube, I'm talking about from about 2008, 2010, 2011 or whatever, whenever the heck I first got on here or whatever. Show me one time Shanny gave anybody any money out of her own pocket. One time. I'm not talking about, Chris, you got $20 so I can donate it online. I'm not talking about going to her mother saying, Mom, you got $20 so I can donate it online. Show me one video with Shanny actually giving somebody something out of her own labor, out of her own hard work. If you're a Christian and you're watching this and you don't know a lot about these guys, you're going to hear them say that nobody has ever helped them. No one's ever loved them. No one's ever supported them. Listen to me. Go find a guy called Glute. I'm talking about the people that even before Dragna. Go find Glute. Go talk to Midstar. And you will see both of them tell you that they're lying about that. Go find Chris on the Art of Relevancy and go ask him. Go ask Midstar and go ask Glute whether or not Shanny's ever been loved on the internet. Shanny is a liar. She is a compulsive liar. And she will look right in this camera and tell you that she's broke when she is not. Oh, yeah, the Wild West days. Yep. I want them to go back to the people that was dealing with Shanny long before you guys ever did. Long before you ever did. And you'll see how much of a liar Shanny is. Oh, yeah, it was. It might get crazy again if I keep doing those streams on my show. And then I'm trying to get Veckel to do it. And if Antonio comes out of retirement, we're going to be full blast again, because I'm pretty sure we'll get a couple of people in the community that's going to want to do these shows too. I would love for Afro-Humanists to come up with a stream where she has like 4 atheists in here and 4 Christians. I think that'd be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun. I know Godless Girl is trying to start something up, so that'd be fun. It'd definitely be something different than what I'm used to doing on here all the time. But I'm definitely tired of talking about the Hebrew Israelites, which is why I barely talk about them anymore. And I turn down a lot of opportunities to talk to them now, because quite frankly, I look at it like this. When they had the opportunity to talk to me, they didn't want to do it, so I take it away from them. That's why I'm with anybody on here. If you say that you want to talk to me, and I'm making myself available and you don't want to talk, then fine. When I'm done with you and I get bored of you, then that's it. I'm not going to be talking to you no more. That's just how I am. But Jen, I got a question for you. That black sweater that you wear, when you wear that sweater, do you believe that it was worth it? Why would you come on social media and say that you would do it all over again? That you would drive from Minnesota, force your way into Jason's life, and you would spend all of his money, the majority of his money. You seriously would do it all over again? I mean, you would do it all over again. You would get arrested again. You would do all of that again. And then after you get broke, get back on here and be irresponsible with your money again. Listen, if you're part of the body of Christ and you want to help Shanny, I know that God helps people who are incapable of helping themselves. But if Shanny refuses to work and refuses to repent of the of the mountains and mountains of mountains and mountains of harm that she's done to other people. If she refuses to do that, do not give her another dime. You will see her on multiple occasions say that she is not sorry for the things that she did. And she's not the only one. Jason's the same way. He's not sorry either. So if they're not sorry, then why should the body of Christ go to them, support their drug habit, and keep them going? I think they call it enabling on here or whatever, right? Why should we do that? They're not trying to do nothing for themselves. They're not trying to get better or anything like that. Can you imagine if Shanny made a stream tomorrow saying taking responsibilities for my actions? Good. That ain't never going to happen. That's why I say that there's more hope for Jason than there is for Shanny, because Jason's just being manipulated. He's just dumb. And he just wants peace. He wants to be able to have his little booty call whenever he can have that and have some company in the house. Think for himself, he will not. And Jason, you're free to call me a liar all you want, but we both know you can't prove it. We both know I can. I'm waiting for you to call me out. I'm sitting here like itching, can't wait to just jump on you or whatever. But the reason why Shanny is broke, guys, ultimately is because Shanny spent all that money on stupid stuff. Basically, at the end of the day. Okay? Nobody on YouTube owes her anything. If you choose to do something for her, you do it out of the kindness of your own heart. If you want to send her a cheese pizza, then fine. But if you want to send her a pizza with jalapeno peppers with the seeds still in them, if you want to send them a pizza with drenched in hot sauce, if you want to send them a pizza with toilet bowl water in it, that's your prerogative, because those beggars can't be choosers. Yeah, peanut butter. They can't be choosers. This is the lifestyle they want to live. They get what you give them. They get what you give them. If you don't want to work and you don't want to actually do what you got to do, then guess what? You're going to get what they give you. And when you start that whining and complaining about what people are trying to give you, you make yourself look dumber on the internet than you already do. You ain't never going to be Beauty Beauty Shanny. You ain't never going to be Truthfully Trisha. You ain't never going to be none of these so-called big YouTubers. There are people following you every platform you go to expose you. Them days are over. You either take responsibility for the mountains and mountains and mountains and planets of harm that you've done, or you know what? I don't know what to tell you, but I hear dumpsters are pretty cool when you want to dump in there. I mean, watch out for the rats when you go in the dumpsters to try to get your food, though. You know what I mean? Be careful with the dumpsters. You know, there are these really big rats. Really big rats inside these dumpsters that you guys are going to be eating out of. And keep in mind, when you're back on the street, not everybody's going to give you a quarter. Some people are going to tell you get a job even when you're walking outside and you're saying, can you spare a quarter or whatever? You don't miss your mother. You wanted her to get sick. The video exists. I didn't even know you said that, Shanny. Like, I remember a lot of you don't know. She called me on the phone and she was crying. She lost her mother and whatnot. Mind you, I ain't know nothing about these archive channels. But then I went on an archive channel the other day and I heard Shanny say that she wished her mother, that she wanted her mother to die of the C word. That she wanted her mother to die of the C word. So a lot of videos of her hating on her mother. In your community post, you put that you miss your mother, you miss your father, you miss your kids, even though you open your legs for the person who kicked your kid in the head or the back or whatever, went to prison, went to jail for a little bit. Then you accepted him back. You don't miss your kids. You don't miss your mother. You miss dumb people who was going to take care of you no matter what. Actually, I can't really call your mother dumb because, you know, there's a responsibility of your parents or whatever. But I take that back. But you just miss people cuddling you and believing all of your baloney. Do you miss me, Shanny? I'll be your community post. You say, I miss my mommy. I miss my kids. We all know that. But the question is, do you miss G-Man? Because at least when G-Man was your friend, you were eating. And you guys have no idea how good this woman was eating. Y'all have no idea. I offered on multiple occasions to take them to Red Lobster, to order them Red Lobster via Google. They wouldn't let me do it. Rev wanted peanut butter. Shanny wanted her frozen pizza. And they wanted a lot of cigarettes. But there were times when I really fed them to the point that Shanny just couldn't eat no more. I bought her a sandwich that was 2 or 3, it was like 2 feet long. I think it was. It was huge. A sandwich I bought her one time. I said, Rev, what can I get her? What's she like? Oh, she loves these hoagies. I said, give me the biggest hoagie in here. I think we went to the supermarket. It was like a 2-foot sandwich. I said 2 feet. It's about 24 inches. That sandwich is pretty big. I don't know how big it was, but it was big. It was bigger than a foot long. A foot long. I know that much. It was one of them big sandwiches that they had pre-cut, and I bought that for her. Because you don't want to put a smile on their face because I thought all of you were evil, and a lot of you were making stuff up. You were claiming that she did this and she did that. Of course, I didn't know nothing about these reaction channels, these archive channels or whatever. And my God, did I buy them a lot of Dr. Pepper. A lot of the stuff that you guys saw them eating and drinking in their room, they didn't even get that mainly from their EBT card. I bought a lot of that stuff. I think personally, when I wasn't around, that they was using that EBT card and they was selling it illegally to people to get cash so that they can buy cigarettes and stuff. That's what I think they were doing when I wasn't around. They never did it in my presence, but I think they were doing that when I wasn't around. No, I didn't. I know about drag. Drag, let me tell you something. The main people that was talking about Shanny at that time, Sabella, think about this a minute here. It was Dragnut, and I wasn't even talking about him at the time. BG. Yeah, you'll be surprised, Sabella, and it wasn't just you. It was a whole bunch of other people, especially this one annoying person that kept threatening to flag me down all the time. Kept sending me a whole bunch of stuff about them, and no, I didn't look at that stuff. But I'll admit it, I didn't look at a lot of that stuff. The ones I did, it got me mad. But I would ask her about some of that stuff, and then her answer would suffice because you got to remember, you guys are coming at me too at the time. So she what was it? Yeah, it was Dragnut, Miss Parker, and it was BGTV. And I think Burnt Toast was making a lot of videos about her at the time. And of course, I didn't like it because they was also making videos about me. So when I got wind of XX Archive and I got wind of some of these other things, what the heck does woman say? Some of them videos I've seen, a lot of them I did not. Which email, Sabella, did you send them to GTV, Skype, or did you send them to my main email? Which one? Because I can check. You sent it to GTV? Oh, no. Yeah. A while ago, I watched some of those, but you also sent videos about me too, though. You know what I mean? And I can't get on Skype now. I have to wait. But yeah. But anyway, I'm not the only person on here saying that Shanny used Jason for that money. It was Shanny's mother. It was Shanny's father. It was Shanny's ex-husband who suggested that was the case. He ain't say it, but he suggested it because Shanny didn't want to work. And it's just funny because I believe that if you guys start focusing strictly on Jason and you start showing him videos which he says certain things and asks him not, well, actually, you know what? He's going to tell her that he saw them. Don't even waste your breath telling him not to tell her. But if one of you can pay him to come to a private hangout and to show him some of the videos, I'm telling you, it's going to affect his decision making. But he's not going to leave her. It ain't gonna happen because he's really using her too at the end of the day. I mean, it's going back and forth. She's using him for a place to live, and he's using her for sex at this particular point because there's nothing else that she can that she can really offer him. Just to keep it real. There's nothing else that she can really offer him at all. All she do is lay around all day whining and complaining and lying about being in pain. And I'll never forget the day when I said to him, I said, no, we have to, because I called her the queen back then. When I used to go to the house, I tried to edify her a little bit, so I was calling her the queen. I said, well, how's the queen doing? Oh, she's laying in bed, but she's in pain or whatever. I said, man, wouldn't it be great if she could walk? Because then we can go to the mall, I could take her shopping. You know what I mean? And then he said, and then Jason pulled me to the side. She can walk if she has to, trust me. Give her the right motivation, she'll get up and walk. He said that to me. That's what I'm saying. He knows some of the stuff that you guys are saying is true. He knows that she's full of it with the pain. He knows that she's full of it when it comes to the money. He knows this stuff. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to be by himself. You need to know that about him. That's why I don't feel sorry for these two no more. She took more than his phone. She took his soul. And when I say that Shanny doesn't give nobody nothing, y'all need to understand this, okay? When they lived in that house, I knew what was Shanny's and what Shanny paid for regarding his money and what was Rev's. If it belonged to Shanny, I wasn't getting it, okay? It was always something that he had. The only two things that Shanny ever gave me was a Little Debbie's oatmeal cake. That's what she gave me out of her own pocket because it came over for EBT. She got me a Little Debbie oatmeal cake. And Shanny gave me, the heck was it? She gave me one of her games. I think she gave me, what was the name of that game? I think it was DC versus Mortal Kombat or something like that. No, it wasn't. It was The Force Unleashed. She gave me a game called The Force Unleashed. Because I kept bugging her about it. I said, I'll never see you play this. You want it? You know what I mean? She gave it to me. But that woman has never really given me anything. You understand what I mean? Not in comparison to Rev. Not in comparison to him. And I personally believe that the reason why she will not leave him has nothing to do with him not wanting to work. Dragnut has covered this. I think Carrie talked about this a little bit. Sabella talked about this. But Rev has, and he still got them savings bonds, and he refuses to take them to the. I don't know why he doesn't go do the work to get the savings bonds or whatever. But his father has some interest in some oil company. And he thinks that if he does a little bit of research, he thinks it might be worth a couple of $100,000. And I think Shanny knows this, and that's why Shanny doesn't want to leave him yet. I think. I mean, that could be one. The other one is that the uncle, if he sells the house, is going to give him a substantial amount of money. I think he's going to get like between $5,000 and $10,000 or something like that if he sells the house or whatever. And Shanny wants a part of that. Just want to smoke that up. So is this about what you got from them in exchange for what you did for them? Maybe rethink that, GMAN. No, it has nothing to do with that. And if I could open up the room right now, I would definitely prove it. It has nothing to do with that. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing them say that the reason why they're broke is because of people on the internet. The reason why they're broke because Shanny spent all that money on clothes, jewelry, perfume, and mainly on marijuana. I've never seen nobody smoke up $700,000 worth of marijuana before until I seen her. Believe it or not, Shanny understands the value of $1 better than Rev. Rev thinks money grows on trees. This dude, let me tell you something. As much as you guys say about Shanny, that woman's a lot smarter than you guys give her credit for as far as like tricking people. Okay? Shanny knows the value of $1. She knows what she got to do to go get $1. Rev, on the other hand, doesn't have the foggiest idea. He won't even sweep a floor. Listen to me. I lie to you not. If you ask him on camera, say, look, I will give you $30 for Delta 8, right? Say that to him. Say, you're going to give him $30 for Delta 8 if they move the camera so that they can see the entire house and make him clean up the entire the room that they stay in. Meaning sweep, mop, dust, and do all of that stuff. He will not do it. That is beneath him. He was worth $700,000. Why should he have to mop and sweep and clean anything? And I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. Even if you offer him $30 to go outside his house and sweep the front of it, he ain't doing it. He ain't gonna do it. The super chat button, I have to fill out the there's something called link or whatever on here that and there's money that I have to claim from that. But I have to do the paperwork, and I don't fully understand the paperwork. What I'm going to do on Saturday is I'm going to go on my Skype. I'm either going to get Sabella or I'm going to get a drag or somebody to help me fill out the paperwork so I can claim the money that they have for me or whatever. I don't know how to fill out that paperwork. So when I get one of them to show me or whatever, Sabella, maybe you can make a YouTube video and you can show me how to do it. That'd be great. I can see the comments. Yeah, I had super chats before, but I gotta do the what the heck is that mess called? There's something on here that you got to do for monetizing your channel. So I have some paperwork on here I got to do first. I don't know how to do it. Like I said, and the reason why I'm not really all that motivated to do it sometimes is I'm not on here for that. But if you really want to donate, I have a Cash App. My Cash App is I don't even remember. Okay, yes, $GMAN 3233. $GMAN 3233. I think I pretty much said everything I wanted to say regarding this, because I've been rambling and blah, 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 all night or whatever. But my thing is that Shanny, you can whine and you can complain about how people are treating you on here all you want. Please remember, you're the same person that got on here, called black people the N-word multiple occasions, said you wasn't sorry. You're the same person that got on here and you put down poor people and tried to make them poorer. You did that, Shanny. What did you say to Life of the Free Spirit? Where's her apology video? Where is her apology video? Where is an apology video for Ms. Star? Where are these videos where you have taken responsibility for the things that you have done? Why should any of these people care about your situation? Welcome to the real world. There is a reason why the Bible says that if you don't work, you shouldn't eat. And it talks so poorly about people who are lazy. Well, you, Sabella, me, and there's a whole lot of other people, they ain't never going to get that apology. We don't deserve it. And they deserve to get everybody's money so that they can get high every day. Shanny, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little surprised how long you've been on YouTube. I'm surprised that the YouTube community has allowed you to get 1,000 subscribers. That might be the real reason why you're not making any videos. But if I know this community as well as I think I do, you ain't going to be on YouTube too much longer, because the first time you get disrespectful, YouTube's going to know you're back on YouTube. Not because of me, but because of the rest of the community. Quite a few people know who you are, Shanny. Quite a few people. And what you did to Jason is wrong. Let me tell you guys something about me. I think all men are different in the kind of women that we believe are the best and the ones that are the worst. With me personally, you will see me getting in a relationship faster with a woman who is LGBTQ, a woman who is a murderer, somebody who goes out there and kill people for a living, okay, unlawfully. You will see me get in a relationship faster with somebody who's an atheist, and you all know how I feel about that. The kind of woman that I absolutely loathe and cannot stand, and I will never, ever, 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 ever want to be involved with is a gold digger. I absolutely loathe those kind of women. And Shanny, besides being a slut and a whore, is a gold digger. And I do not like those kind of women at all. You're with me because you want to spend all my money? No. You better get out of my house before I throw you out by your hair. I'm not trying to hear that. No. I will be more faithful to a murderer. I'm sorry. I have thought about this, and I have had years to think about this. I do not like gold diggers. You have heard my opinions about atheism. You do not want to hear my opinions about what I think about gold diggers. I'm not nice about this at all. If you listen to my about what I think about them, I'll be called a sexist. I'll be called crazy. I'll be called a lunatic, and I do not like gold diggers. I don't like them. I don't like them. And honestly, I wish they had a law. Anyway, let me be quiet about it, because I've been hurt by a couple of people like that. I don't like gold diggers. I just don't like them. And that's what she is. She's a gold digger. She uses Indigo ruined him on gold diggers. Yeah. Anyway, so what was I gonna say? Shanny got involved with him for the money. His money is gone, and now she wants everyone to believe that she's the only one who's done anything in that relationship. That she's never done nothing to nobody. Everybody's just picking on her. And people don't want to be loving. Shanny can get on here and talk all the lies she wants. And ain't nobody believing that garbage. Ain't nobody believing that garbage. Too much evidence to the contrary. I'm sorry. That's why she's Shanny for cash. Her God is Delta 8 and the almighty dollar. Shanny could care less about what Jesus thinks about anything. Rev could care less. You hear me, Rev? That woman changed you, dude. Because I couldn't say this about you 6 years ago, 7 years ago. You could care less about what Jesus thinks about anything, Rev. Is Shanny live right now, Sabella? Oh, okay. It's a guy. Okay, it's a guy. Okay, my bad. All right. So anyway, if you guys want to donate, is $sign GMAN 3233 if you want to donate. But I just wanted to put this video out there as somebody who's been around them, slept in the same house with them, somebody who has been infected by them. I know Carrie was friends with them for a little bit, but I actually met these people. I spent time with these people. I've heard them talk about you guys. I know what they really think about all of you, and I know what they think you owe them. That's the part that they'll never talk about. They believe. Oh, okay, Sandra. I'm sorry about that. I also have Venmo, but I have no idea what my information is. I have to go look it up. But I'll get the super chat thingy back on here again. But let me say this. Stop reading this chat. I lose my train of thought too fast. But what was I gonna say? I completely lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, guys. I was gonna say something on here. I thought it was gonna be profound, but I completely forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much everything I wanted to say. Shanny is a liar, and you know. Oh, now I remember. You guys are responsible for them being poor. You're responsible for them being in poverty. If they didn't have to move all these times, you know, then they wouldn't be in a position that they're in. We all know that's a lie. But their revenge on you guys is this. And Rev is part of this. Make no mistake about this. He ain't innocent in this. They are going to squeeze every dime they can get out of you guys until people in here start wising up. Because you owe them. Which is hilarious because it's not true. But all of you guys owe them. How, for what? I don't know, but all of you owe them. So if they got to get on here and lie and say they got a job, if they got to get on here and lie and say Shanny broke her leg or got cancer or any of the other illegal activities that they talk about or whatever, it don't make a difference because you owe them. Why did I do so much for them? Because I believe them. I don't think you guys, listen to me, unless you have been tricked by a person like Shanny before, you're never going to understand. I believe, I would say 80% of the, 95% of the things that they said about you guys, I believe it. They told me that you guys went to Boulder, Colorado, that y'all broke into their garage and broke into their car. I told you, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go on Carrie's stream Friday or something like that, if she don't mind. Or just breathing. I'll tell you what they said about you guys. Like I said, I was told that you guys broke into their place in Colorado. Not the house where you guys filmed the videos and everything. I'm talking about in the garage where you broke into their car. You were stealing their Amazon gifts. They told me that you guys was flagging their cash apps. They told me that you guys was doing everything you can to make them poor. That you guys was robbing their house when they wasn't there. That you was calling services that they had and preventing them from getting services. I was told that you prevented Rev from getting several jobs. I was told all of this stuff and I believed it. And you got to remember, I was going back and forth with Dragnet. So I believed everything that was coming out of their mouth. What started to change my mind was, why did this guy turn down this job? He can't mow the lawn. Why does this house smell like this every single time I come here? And then the ultimate, this is the part that you guys never seen. I went in the bathroom. Let me tell you something. I picked up the toilet, and then I saw the video that Irate Alex did when I was mad at him regarding, because everybody kept challenging me, G-Man, did you see how they left the place over there in Colorado? And I looked at it, and I said, oh, no, you guys did that. You can do that with some dust or whatever, and a person can throw some caramel on you or whatever. You know what I mean? And then I went to this house over here, and I'm like, what the heck? And then I was told that William was supposed to clean the bathroom. The house was dirty because the kids didn't want to clean up. No, they couldn't clean the cat box. That's why there was poop on the floor. It was poop on the floor. And not only on the floor, a lot of them games that he had behind that big TV that you guys see when I use that for a screenshot or whatever, the cat peed on all of that stuff and was dunking on top of that stuff. Then they wanted to give it to me. So you know what I did with that? I threw that stuff in the garbage. And I think I threw at least $500 worth of games in the garbage because of what those cats did back there. And then on Shanny stuff, on top of her perfume, Gavin, and I think it was Gavin that was doing it. He was marking his territory or peeing or whatever because they wasn't cleaning the box. And if you don't have a cat, if you don't clean a litter box, they're gonna pee on various different things. It was peeing on the games. It was peeing on some of the appliances that was in their room. You know what I mean? Some nasty stuff that I witnessed. Some nasty. And then Rev would go to Walmart without bathing. Let me tell you something. It's pretty embarrassing. Now, mind you, the way I dealt with it was I told them that they didn't have no food. I'm trying to help them out or whatever. That's what I said in Walmart. But it's embarrassing when you go to Walmart and you got a dude wearing a tank top and he's been sweating, obviously, for a long time, and he hasn't bathed and he isn't wearing any deodorant. Like, imagine not bathing for 3 or 4 days and you haven't put deodorant on. And then you go out and you go food shopping. Listen to me. I can back this up. Come to screen. I'll have the cashiers tell you how this guy used to smell. And then you go to the convenient and they'll tell you how he used to smell. And don't give me this. There was no running water. There was a shower right next to their room. They had unlimited soap. Because I gave it to them. They had the AXE body spray. They had other body spray that I bought them. I bought Shanny perfume. I bought Rev some things trying to make them smell better. Bought them clothes and it would still stink. Yeah, Isabella. Yeah. So but they used to go in public and smell like that. We would go pay the Boost internet bill. And Shanny insisted on coming. She could walk just fine then. Okay. And we would go in there and they would talk about conspiracy theories and all those other stuff. And now, mind you, as an evangelist, I don't usually have a problem with somebody talking about Jesus when they go in public. But Rev always made me feel uncomfortable when I was with him. He was like, Jesus bless you, Jesus bless you, Jesus bless. Everywhere he went, but the dude never did what Jesus told him to do. Yeah, if you go to where they are right now and you smell the front door, you'll see what I'm talking about. It just stinks. I don't know how to go deal with that garbage. I really don't. She ain't be having little bugs in her hair, and she thinks that crap is attractive. No. Can't try to kick it to a guy and smelling like armpits. One day. Now, mind you, some of you ladies are not going to like me saying this, but I think, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you what, I'll put it to you this way. Have you ever smelled a woman that doesn't bathe who smells like sex, but then smells like fish? You know what I mean? I would get around Shanny, and you could smell it. And the only way I can describe it is if you ever smelled like a rotting fish outside before. And she thought that crap was sexy. She thought that mess was sexy. All right? You can see the bugs in her hair. It's crazy. But if they have the nerve to try to flirt. I'm like, no. I told Rev right in front of Shanny. I said, dude, that is all you, dude. That is all you. You ain't got to worry about me at all. That is all you. Yeah, she smelled like rotting fish. I was like, and I had these, give me a second here. I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about here. Man. Hold on. What did I do with them? Give me 1 second here, guys. Give me 1 sec. Let me show you guys something here. Hold on. Okay, hold on a minute. These is what I had to use. These are super strong. Cost about $5 to $6. You spray this one time, and the whole room will smell like whatever the scent is. This one is Bed of Roses. They have one that's cherry. They have one that's lavender. And this stuff is insanely strong. You gotta be careful how often you use this. And some people will get this to hide the smell of marijuana in a car or in a room or whatever. Let me tell you something. You only got to spray this 2 times. That's it. When I was with them, I had to spray this at least 10 to 15 times. That is how freaking disgusting they were. All right? And like I said, I think a lot of you would have had a different view of me if you would have heard me yelling at them the way the house was smelling. Because I blacked out on them. And Rev's right about that. I blacked out on him so many times early in the morning, it's not even funny. Talking about you the man of the house. No, you're not, dude. You can't even control your boys. I would go there, and they always say they don't got no food. Okay? They always say they don't got no food, don't got no food, don't got no food. But then one of them called themselves making how many of you know how to make what do you call that mess? Hamburger helper. How many of you know how to make that? You get the macaroni, and then you put the beef in it, and then you put the cheese or whatever in it, the mixed sauce or whatever in it. Well, I went there one day, and apparently they decided they wanted to eat one night, and there was how do I describe this? They had one of those soup pots, but it wasn't like a big soup pot. It was like one of the ones that you can boil like maybe 20 eggs in or something like that. You know what I mean? And they made this macaroni stuff. And actually, maybe 40 eggs. Actually, that was the silver one that they had. So it looked like they made a big pot of this stuff all the way to the brim. And they only took like maybe 2 bowls of it and then wasted the rest of it. Like it would be sitting in the sink overnight. I would go there, there'll be whole cakes in the garbage. Okay, there'll be. I don't know if you guys ever been to Giant before, or been to Jerry's, or like ShopRite or whatever, and they have those pre-made cakes. You would see that stuff in the garbage. You would see donuts in the garbage. You would see boxes of Eggo waffles in the garbage. And I just got finished spending like $200 on food with them that particular day. And I go there and I see all this food in the garbage. You better believe he's telling the truth about me raising my voice at these guys. You better believe it. I work too hard. I work too hard. How you doing, Rebuke and Reprove, bro? How you doing? I work too hard to be buying all of that food. Now, here's the thing. I don't think Shanny was the one throwing that stuff in the garbage. I'll defend her in that. Her boys were insanely picky. Oh, I don't eat that. I don't eat that. You're starving, but you don't eat that. You don't eat that. And then Rev don't eat certain things. So I think between Rev and the boys, they threw a lot of that stuff in the garbage. But I also believe that Shanny threw some of that stuff in the garbage because I bought things that was specifically for her. I was constantly told that she loves chocolate. Chocolate ice cream, chocolate cake, that she liked certain things or whatever. And I would buy it, and then a week later, I would come there and see all of this stuff in the garbage. And it's not sitting outside for garbage night, sitting in the kitchen. Bags on bags on bags and bags on bags. And I have to yell at them and say, somebody's got to come down here and take the stuff out. Well, you better believe they're eating like kings. And honestly and truthfully, if those kids have any sense, they wouldn't want to go home. Because if they go back home, those two are going to be worshiping social media, and they're going to be sitting in their bedrooms looking at their phones all day because their parents don't want to be parents. You know what I mean? So wherever those kids are, I'm pretty sure that they're happy where they are. Although I am a big believer that kids should be with their parents, just not with those two lazy heifers. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I the more I listen to Shanny, the less and less and less I believe that woman's capable of making adult decisions to be a mother. She, for crying out loud, she's opening her legs for a guy that kicked her son. Don't give me this forgiveness stuff, Shanny. You're not even married. You're in sin. You're fornicating. Anyway, going off on a tangent here. I should have ended this video about 30 minutes ago. But again, if you're a Christian, rebuke and reprove. I'm talking to you. Anybody on here who don't know that much about Shanny and Rev, do not give them any money. Encourage them to get a job. Because if you give them money, they're gonna spend it on drugs. If they want food or Uber Eats, and make Shanny feed Rev. Because when you buy her food, she's gonna eat the majority of it and don't give him anything. If you buy a sandwich, buy 2 sandwiches and tell them on camera you want to see him eating his own sandwich. Like I said, I don't like Rev no more, and I don't like Shanny anymore. That's right, rebuke and reprove. If you don't work, you don't eat. Amen and amen to that. And like I said, back in my brainwash days, when I believed the stuff that they was talking about, because of the hate that I was getting, you know what I mean? Like I said, it is what it is. You know, that was an expensive college education that I got on not doing anything with them. Shanny and Rev needs to get up and they need to go get a job. They need to stop lying on here saying they got a gig writing for a big channel. No, they do not. Okay, Sabella, if you don't think brainwashed is a good term for it, what's a better term for it? Since brainwash is not a good term, what's a better term for it? I was trying to be a good friend. I was being grateful. I just don't like being used by anybody. Anybody who knows me on here knows that. I in my personal life, people really know that. I don't take kindly to that. Gullible is a good word. Yeah, you're right. But like I said, Shanny's good at what she does. Even Carrie admitted that she believes Shanny a little bit. Shanny's good. She's just good. I think deliberately hiding your head in the sand. Seeing and pretending not to see. That wouldn't be too far off from the reality. It sure wouldn't. But anyway, let me wrap this video up. If you want to donate again, the Cash App is GMAN3233. All right. With that being said, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget, tomorrow I'll be in the debate arena. And for those of you who have not known about this, Von Helton made a pretty and shout out to Gray Alien, who did a video response to this. Apparently, Mr. Helton is threatening to sue me and get me thrown into prison because I allowed David Anthony on my channel. So in the very beginning of my debate arena on Monday, I will be addressing Von Helton. And I'm going to try to get him to come in before. Do me a favor. If any of you are watching this and I make the link available in public, don't come in. I want to talk to Von Helton by myself first. Educate him about a few things first. He says he has money now and he ain't putting up with people's stuff no more. Vaughn, if you're watching this, it will be me and you one-on-one the moment you come in the room. All right. All right. You guys say, yeah, rebuke and reprove. Definitely Vaughn. Vaughn needs to be put in his place again. You know, so we'll see. All right. Night, guys. Later. Oh, and by the way, Carrie, happy birthday. I forgot about that. Happy birthday. Brat, I don't know what your account is, but I'll if your face is like that, I'll try to unblock you. All right. Later.